Did I really come up with something that can change my life, that could change an industry, that could help other people? People want to train with us. They want to get better. They trust us. But I wasn't sure I was capable of doing something this powerful.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Born to Tint podcast. I'm Ricky. Glad to be here with my big brother, Josh.
What's going on, everyone? Today, we had a really fun conversation with Richard Jackson, Importint Tint LA, also the founder of Importint Sauce, everybody's new favorite tool in the industry. Check it out.
The judging that usually goes the quickest is when the judges actually stick together and they can sit there and have a conversation, point things out together, come to consensus. All right, that's what we're marking down, that's what we're not marking down. So it's pretty much them, the judges having their shit in order in line too, to move fast and operate quickly. That's the big thing. But I'm excited for it. Like I like the difference from round to round. Like the first round being like best out of this round. I don't know if that'll change or not, because I know there was at least one round in flat glass in January that like judges were like, I mean, we had to pick somebody, but they would rather have had the choice to where if they can do like a golden ticket where like, all right, everybody in this round, no one was up to par. Yeah. And we have this one person that we know, like, we want them to go ahead and pull someone from a different round. But it just didn't happen in January just because of the logistics of it. And that kind of pivot would have been like anyone else from the other rounds would have been like, well, what about it? It would just would have cost too many issues.
Last minute pivot like that would have just been a bunch of like naysayers, you know. But if you just take a second, they would run off emotion. You know what I mean? Because they wanted to compete, they want to go to the finals. But if they were to take a second back and realize like this is a viable option, like the way you explained it, that's different. You know, someone smart enough would realize that. You know, other people are just gonna be like, nah.
I feel like they could do it like, keep it pretty close. I think you could easily do something like what track and field does. Like they'll have prelims where it's like the top two automatically make the finals, right? And then out of the 4 rounds that happened, the next best 4 times.
Oh yeah,
out of like 4 rounds.
But that means you judging on every single window. You need a point system on every single window. Yeah, and they do not have time for that. They don't. They have like 64 plus people competing in flat.
I think if they had a sheet,
I also don't know why. That I've seen no tint competition I've ever seen has never just been straight up bracket style. Just flat out double elimination bracket style.
Tinter battles in Orlando kind of was to make it to the finals.
So that's why I said to make it. But still, like, okay, like the only reason I bring it up is because what you just said, the first, like the prelims, the best 2 automatically make it. Well, it's like the guy that wins the first round, he gets like the bye. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's automatically in the third round. Yeah. Because he doesn't have to beat the guy that he already beat. You know what I'm saying? They have to go in between him, and he gets a round off. As well to relax or see what his competition's like.
The other idea I got that literally just hit me as we were talking about it. I think not only would having a sheet scorecard, like I think who had one that we used for the thing here? Was that using Tinter battles?
Tinter battles.
So they had a sheet. So if you have a structured sheet on how we're going to score, what is what points, and you can mark it, that's super helpful. But like nowadays, like you could easily use Claude or Perplexity Computer or anything. And you could spin up an app for the judging to make it digital and save a shit ton of time. And it's not like a couple years ago where that would cost you $30,000-$40,000 to create. You could probably create it for less than $500.
So you have until Wednesday when this releases to get in touch with Carlos, pitch the idea to him, and lock that up.
Yeah, I mean, it would make the judging faster and then transparent too. Everybody would, and you would see if you're already qualified or if you're on the bubble of like, as long as my score stays here and nobody beats that score, I'm in. Like it would actually make the logistics of it so much easier for the judges, for everybody participating.
Well, logistics is, I liked the one thing I loved about when I went to WFR, which I think they'll do the same thing at Film Fest, is after each entry round, your score is written on your window.
Yeah,
you knew
it should be.
Yeah, it's like that's the one thing I do like about the other company. Like I know WFCT doesn't do it. I'm cool with WFC leaving it exactly the way theirs is, because then we have the different ones during the other parts of the year. Mm-hmm. So everyone has a different style of competition. Right. WFCT is really gotta keep your shit silent. Can't talk to no one. Walk in, compete, walk out. Very no, everyone's structured, but very like they're taking away, in my eyes, as many variables as humanly possible.
Right.
Can't have any instruction, can't talk to no one, you walk in and it's go time, pick your stuff up and leave. Follow these dumb instructions of what you have to do when you first get there and leave. But also that you get graded on that. Like, can you follow instructions?
Right.
And if you break one of those rules, obviously, like, yeah, it's a stupid rule, but you didn't follow it. Like, it's that easy just to do it.
It's like in school. Sometimes you'd have that random teacher that you would give you a test and you do the entire test and you're like, and it was an easy test. 2 + 2, 2 + 3, 2 + 4.
Yeah.
Dumb test. Blasted through it. And you see it's an easy test. You're like, bam, easy 100. Then you get the thing back and you didn't put the date or you didn't write your name. Yeah. And you minus 20 points. You're like, what?
Yep.
The same thing with WFCT.
Yeah.
You concentrated so much on the task at hand, you forgot about the small detail at the beginning or the end.
Yeah.
Or it has like the teacher that put like the fine print, like, and write, I love math on the bottom corner. You know what I mean? And you don't read the small print. You're like, done. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's a stupid note you leave for the judges. Which every time I leave a note, I'm an absolute dick. Which when Chris judges my car, if he judges my side, he knows it's me because of the note I wrote. Just because I'm not writing my name or anything, but I'm being a complete asshole when I write it.
Right.
And there's more of a chance that Chris knows there's a certain select of tinters that are going to be doing that just because like, here, I wrote you your note. You happy? Give me my goddamn 1 point.
You're making me think of the test where they say, make sure you read all the instructions and questions before you begin the test. And like the very last line is like, fill in your name and turn it in and don't fill in any of the answers.
Read everything before you start. That's how they get you. One style that I kind of like dreamed up of a competition, it was something that I was like, I dream one day I could put this together. But I want to go ahead and share it. I kind of took it off of, it was a spin off of Tinter Battles because they, in my eyes, kind of went with like a WWF or like WCW, like, you know, that type of vibe. When you watch it, when you listen to it, and things like that, and the competition level and stuff. So when they did that, I got thinking along wrestling, and just wrestling, you have certain events, you know, like the World Championship, but one was always WrestleMania or pretty much like a big free for all. You know, they'd have like just demolition in the ring or something like that. So guys are just coming and running in all the time. Well, my idea was I could get a venue, and of course logistics would have to be worked out. But say I get a venue and I get 20 cars, different cars. They don't have to be the same. It's not like a competition where everybody's doing like this. They're all whatever. Just call the rental company and say, I need 5 sedans, 5 SUVs. Call somebody that's local and say, hey, I want the weirdest car you got on your used car lot. You know, something hard, different. So we have a lot of variety there. Then you sign up, I sign up. I have a total of amount of competitors that I know are going to show up. Now, once you sign up, you're locked in. From those 20 cars, we have 8 hours a day at an event. We'll say it's 2 days long. That's like 16 hours. All right. You can reserve one side A for 30 minutes or 1 hour, whatever you want. And to help pay for it, that say, I don't know the numbers. Don't beat me up on this. We would work it out. But say it's just like $30 for 30 minutes. But that side of that car or that back window that you call is yours. Then you get to say, hey, Josh, you've been talking shit on the internet. Right now, me and you, as fast as we can. Okay, or clean as we can, or whatever you want to make your own mini comp inside with just him or the 3 guys you pulled over. Hey, I can do this back window faster than 2 of y'all can do the windshield.
I've done that with my employees.
But we do this on a daily basis in our shop. And that's how we push each other. Yeah. And we get better and we fuck up and we get better. But there's no competition that I've seen. The original thought was, imagine a competition with no rules. It's like letting kids outside at recess. There's just a bunch of activities. There's the monkey bars, the slide, the whatever. We all got all different cars. That's your different activities. Go play, kids. The kids go out there and compete. Who can run the fastest? Who can jump the highest? Who can go the fast? They make their own rules. They make games. We're fucking kids, dude. We love this industry. It lights us up. It really does me. Like, I'm getting goosebumps. I do, dude. Like,
it sounds fun.
I find the funnest, weirdest way I can do something, and I want people to say, there's no fucking way that's going to work. And then it does. You know,
You know what would be cool is if you could incorporate that into something like tinter battles as just being part of while you're there.
Yeah.
On top of the main competition that's happening.
Maybe just
You
like 5
have-
cars in a corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, yo, that's the free for all ring.
Like a 94 Saturn and some like
And you
weird hard
Oh,
shit.
in
Like,
WFCT,
yeah,
you go and sign up,
yeah.
and then you say, "Oh, it's going to be like an hour," and you come back. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Just wait for
everybody
your
that's
name on the
there
list. So we have a
spectating.
mic.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, blah blah blah. Car is ready. If you signed up, be there in 10 minutes. You know, something like that, and you get to do your own judging.
Each person judges each other.
Or we worked on side A, and you say, "Yo, come here, look at these. We can't decide." Then you have a third opinion.
Oh, you know what'd
Randomly
be cool
pull
too?
people in. I
Whatever you
to
want.
Judge. Okay, we want you guys could together have both people like, all right, who are we gonna have judges?
Your brain is
Hey, do you wanna
already
come
doing
judge
what
us?
I wanted it to do.
Yeah.
You can do anything you want.
Well, and
I
you
like
could
you know
that.
what I mean?
you could even make it like a pool hall or something too. You could have the crowd bet. Like,
Dude, we'll put quarter machines on the side of the cars, chink chink for one game.
That'd be
dude.
fun.
Yeah, you go over to wherever the tint's at, and like, all right, I'm gonna buy this much tint. All right, we got our tint. Go find our area. Let's go.
Dude, and like a sponsor
like
could
that.
do
Well,
one
the
car. A
sponsors,
sponsor
yeah,
could
you'd
just
have
supply the
film
car
already
and put
there.
their film on the car.
Yeah.
That's all
And
their
then just be like, dude,
suppliers.
I've never tried that film. Right there. There's a whole car.
Yeah, I like that.
That would even be a good
And,
idea.
and at the same time, you could have somebody fucking around with PPF on the front end.
Yeah,
There's endless opportunities when we aren't setting the rules as the event holder.
yeah, that'd be fun.
I like that. Like you said, like the 2 guys against 1. That would be the only thing that you have to get 2 cars. Wherever one person has to get 2 cars the same when people and do that. Like that would be a fun battle. What you do is you get 2 rookie tinters
And
versus a veteran.
that's how it
tinter.
goes. When you want to go,
And who can like, hey, I can out tint both you at the same
when
time.
you want to go have fun, you ride jet skis.
Dude,
You go by yourself, you have to rent 1 jet ski. You want to bring all your friends and party, you got to get 2 jet skis or a boat, you know. But you want to party, dude, we're supplying everything. Just go have fun, you know. And I think that's the competitions are what drives everybody because we're competitive by nature. You know, at least competitors. That's why we're there.
Yeah.
But I think all of us at the end of the competition, no matter what it was, we can love it, but we'll be like, man, like this, like I wish that this rule wasn't there.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't do that in my shop. That's the only reason we say that. Well, I don't have to do that in my shop.
Yeah.
Or I do it later before the customer gets there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't wipe down the outside of the car. Some shops do. I tell the customer, you can go get a car wash right now. I don't want to take a brand new microfiber and put swirls in your paint. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Now, if it's 10 years old and it's a white car, come on, dude, I'm going to wipe it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, yeah,
But
it's setting
where
car.
I work, some of the cars I work at, majority of the cars I work on are over $100,000 easily,
Yeah.
upwards of $200,000-$300,000 on a daily basis.
Dustin your car.
I am not taking a microfiber and wiping your car down, dude. We need to go outside and we got to wet this thing first.
Yeah.
So go ahead and get your detail. Tint's done.
Yeah.
And if your detail guy's any good, just tell him you got tint. He'll know not to roll it down right now.
Yeah,
Simple.
that's true too. If your detail guy doesn't know
That's
that,
what I tell him.
Move on
I'm
to the
going to get a
next one.
detail guy. If he doesn't know what to do, you should probably find another detail guy. You know?
no, 100%.
Yeah, he clearly hasn't been doing it.
The carpenter walks in and he doesn't know how to use a drill. You should probably find another carpenter.
Or if the carpenter walks in with Ryobi drill, then
Yeah,
you send him on
whatever.
his way.
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Dude,
Or a
this
belt
is-
sander who walks in
That
with a
idea
belt sander.
I gotta go. Me and
That's
Fernando,
genius, though, man. I love people that are thinking outside the box and solving problems that have been there forever. I mean, it's kind
That's
of
what Fernando
exactly
does.
what
He
you do,
looks
too.
for the gray areas. That's the one thing I've always talked about too. Is when you go through the rules, look at the rules. If it's not stated in the rules, you're not going to get knocked for it.
You can't.
You're going to get
You can't.
blowback from people bitching and complaining that they didn't think about something.
Yep.
But that's their problem, not yours.
Yeah.
And then the rules change, and then obviously they've changed. Now, no more belt sounders.
I came up with it's probably corny, but it's just something that I kind of stuck in my own head. There's a tool for everything if you look outside of the toolbox.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's certain mentalities, and part of it was kind of what helped me come up with Importint Sauce and a lot of like little tools and weird ways I do things at the shop. Certain mentalities is because there is a tool for everything. You know, if there's not, someone's making one actively. You know, like if there's a way to do something, someone's making a tool to do it easier, faster, or a different way, whatever it is. Some people, if they have a problem, and I'm going to just dumb this down for example purposes. Say I have a crescent wrench and it's sitting over there because I use the crescent wrench on my car, but I'm working on the wall. I'm hanging a picture and I go over to the toolbox for like my house stuff. Well, there's no hammer. If you're going to do the job with the right tool, then you can't do that job because you don't have a hammer. But anybody that looks outside of the toolbox will realize you can swing that crescent wrench and it's a big heavy piece of metal and the nail's still going to go on the wall. Right?
Yeah.
So every job has a tool outside of the toolbox. But most people, because we're sold so many things and convenience of this day in life, we just go to the toolbox. Hey, I need to do this. I need the tool for whatever. You Google and bing, it pops up. Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, whatever. No matter what it is. So my thing is look outside of traditional and you'll find answers that people haven't looked for yet because they're not asking the question. They're just going to the answer that they already have. Yeah. Okay, that answer is no longer allowed. Now, how do you solve this problem? You start looking outside. You find something that is not traditional or unorthodox. It starts to work. Now, a crescent wrench might not be the best hammer, but you've already spawned the thought process in your mind of doing something without what's required.
Yep. I think growing up in this industry helped me think that way. Like, before there was a bulldozer, I was using clipboards.
He mentioned it to me on the phone. Like, exactly. The innovation. And it has to happen.
Because we didn't have all the tools.
Mm-hmm. Well, so I think the thing against us when we were coming up is obviously the tools didn't exist. We all thought outside the box and created things. And then where now those tools are being produced now is because manufacturing has gotten so much easier. 3D printers. And just being able to actually get in, say, if you want to get something manufactured, you're not going to do it yourself. You can actually find places. For us out here, we have a place called Precision Tube and Laser. Mm-hmm. They bought machines. They have I think $1 billion worth of machinery in their shop. They bought laser cutting machines at OEM, for Lexus. They have the machine because it's producing the same part over and over and over again. They bought it, and their thing is I want to be able to get to the consumer that hey, if you want one, we can produce it. But if that works out, we can then mass produce this for you and it'd be cost effective.
So another thing that people don't realize too about just tools and innovation, it can go with anything in any industry. This was something that I realized myself in 2016. I was at my first SEMA show. When I was there, I realized because I was working in for a place, it was a tent shop, but they also imported cameras from Korea. These are really high-end dash cameras. And he was there with a booth. All right. So if you look at the timeline, and this goes along the same thing with our tools, we'll say the homemade tools are the ones that people are making cheaply. They're not perfectly made yet, but they're in the process of getting better. Those are aftermarket. And this is the thought process was for me was if you think of cars and all the accessories that we have and these luxury things, if you go to a brand new Mercedes and everything they have to offer, everything in there with the 360 camera, right? And then the Bluetooth radio and even satellite radio. If you go way back, everything that we get mass produced in cars that you're talking about, these billion-dollar places making millions of them for these manufacturers, we get it as a purchase, as a whole complete thing done in the car. And we think it's new.
No.
But it's actually already been around for 10 to 20 years as an aftermarket product. Think about for 10 years in the late 90s and early 2000s, people were installing the XM radio modules and the antennas on their cars. Mm-hmm. And then every single car started coming from the factory with XM. Yeah. And then backup cameras used to be a huge market for cars. But then in 2018, the federal government decides every single car sold in the United States has to have a backup camera no matter what. So then backup camera market is now regular and the aftermarket is dead. Everything that's aftermarket is slowly gets implemented in. Yeah. Once it gets refined, when the people that have the money and the machines can make the product perfect. Because you were chopping up bulldozers or chopping up clipboards to make a bulldozer until someone took a plastic injection machine and put a piece of rubber on and said, all right, this is good shape. Yeah. But you guys and other tinters discovered what you needed because you thought outside the box.
Yeah, and it has just gotten easier to, not even the equipment, but that's the cool thing that's happening right now. The internet itself, the ability to find the answers to how do I actually solve this problem and produce it myself and make it at a smaller scale. It's the easiest it's ever been. So that's why I think we're seeing more and more and more innovation. Would you have been able to make Importint Sauce 20 years ago?
No.
Yeah.
No, hands down. I have a high school education. I'm not a chemist. But I did spend 5 months in dark holes on Reddit and Google, and
exactly.
It's 3:30 in the morning, and I'm like this close to my phone, finding out what's gonna hurt, what's not gonna hurt, and how this is gonna work.
You knew the right question to ask though, because you knew the problem to solve.
Right.
And then
the problem that I saw in the entire thing that spawned everything to do with Importint Sauce, the very beginning, was we have to use water. Water moves.
Yep.
That's the problem. Because I can clean this window 5 times. I know for a fact this window is clean. It has to be clean. So how come once I spray water on it and the water moves around, it's not clean anymore? I need something that acts like water but doesn't move. That's literally my first thing that I thought. I want it to act like water, but I don't want it to move. I don't want it to run down. I don't want it to run out.
Mm-hmm.
And then, okay, we need a odorless gel. I don't want to add any smells. I need a colorless gel because water is odorless and colorless. So then I have 2 things that I have to have in it. That's my requirements. And then from there, where do we go? All right, we need to make a gel, right? Well, I think we can tell 9 months into me releasing the product, there's a lot of ways to make gel.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways you can make gel,
And
dude.
if you didn't know, now we do know because everybody in the mother is putting...
I am 100% not surprised if there's somebody on this earth that has legitimately taken just clear Jello from their cabinet and tried it. Like just the Sure Gel is what they make before it hardens. Like I would not be surprised.
We were using fucking Elmer's glue before that. So I mean, I'd be shocked if there isn't someone who has done
They
it.
might not want to admit it, you know. But hey, kudos to you for creativity, I guess. But then it spiraled into me going in a dark hole of what tint adhesives are made of, and what is safe for it. Because then I had, okay, odorless, colorless. Now I need to make sure this doesn't hurt the whole point of what I'm making. Yeah. I still have the bottle half empty. When it hit me that day at the shop, I'm not kidding you. I closed the doors on the car. I was there by myself. 2 blocks away is a Ralph's grocery store. I closed the shop. I drove to Ralph's for $6.99. I bought a bottle of Ralph's unscented hand sanitizer, the cheapest no-name brand, just regular hand sanitizer, because that, to me, as a normal person without a lot of research into this, was the first thing that I know is a clear gel. It's unscented, blah, blah, blah. I didn't have much more thought process into it at that point. It was just the beginning. I went and got it. I put it in a bottle. You tried to spray it. Doesn't want to spray too good. It's too thick. Okay. I go through a couple sprays, spray tops, and I finally find one that will spray it, even being as thick as it is. I spray it, put it on, start to see a little haze. Alcohol content. So I flip the bottle around. Alcohol content's like 65%. And hand sanitizer, way too high. The limits, I believe that I looked up, don't kill me on this, manufacturers don't recommend it, but people that use it say don't go above about like 10% alcohol in your bottle. That's when you can, and that's still working at a good pace. You don't ever want to let it dwell, you know. Yeah. If you're working with much more than that, you need to work quick, like really, really quick, and I don't recommend it, just personal. Yeah. But that's another reason that there are some gels on the market that have alcohol in them. I refuse to use alcohol. I said, I don't even want someone to say, oh, 1%. Nope, I'm just going to go without it. It's not part of my story. But with that, I immediately took back to the hand sanitizer. I took the hand sanitizer and it was too thick, alcohol content. So my brain went, all right, well, dilute it. If I put half and half, then my alcohol content went down to 30% from 60%, right? Easy, dumb stuff. Let's just see what happens. It's too runny. It's too much water. Spray it down the window. This is going to be a lot harder than I thought. Is exactly what I said. Then I went down dark holes, and I would be 3:30 in the morning. My wife roll over and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing? Go to sleep." I'm like, "No, I have to figure this out." You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I'm getting closer, you know, whatever it is, or I found out something new. And it's there was points to it where I was like, man, like maybe I can't get it. I'm sure someone can, but I just don't. I don't have the resources, or I don't have the time, or I don't have the knowledge to do it. So I'd get close, and finally, for one story I like to tell, this was about, it took me like 5.5 months, but one story, I was about 3 months in, and I called, I got one finished, and that night at home, I was like spraying it on my sliding glass door, you know, I think this is it. It was the third variant of that base that I had started with. Okay. I go and I'm like, all right, due day. I did a quarter window, and it was on a Mercedes EQS. It's a frameless little window in the front quarter, right? I did just that quarter window with the Alcantara just to make sure it doesn't mess up any panels and stuff, because I knew it was safe for that. I did that quarter window, and then I did it first. When I was testing, I would always do that window first, and then I would do the rest of the car. And then before I called the customer, I would check that window again to make sure everything looked okay. So it sat for at least an hour. You know what I mean? I did the rest of the car. And when I went back to that quarter window at the end, I saw one speck in it. So I just took my thumb and, like, you know, you just kind of like chisel a little bit with your thumbnail. Yeah. I rubbed it a little bit like that. And when I rubbed it, have you ever took a heat gun and heated up the glue way too hot, and then you went to chisel it out and you just smear the glue? Yeah. No heat, nothing. Just my thumbnail started to smear the glue. Oops. And and it just drug across the window. I was like, yeah, that's not going to work. Yeah. So about 3 months in, I literally had to take about half of my work that I thought I was getting close, and to just completely subtract about 2 to 3 weeks of work. You know, like, I'm here and I built up some to get it, and I had to subtract all that because something in this time frame, it ruined it. It just ruined the adhesive, whatever it was. There are like a couple of cool facts that I like to tell about Importint Sauce. For one, it was 100% made out of passion. I call it the pursuit for the perfect window. And we're always doing that. Like, every single time we peel a liner, dude, we're in the pursuit for the perfect window. Because we always have that saying, no such thing as a perfect window. So I'm going to try to reach it. You know, that's what I'm going for. I made it completely out of a passion for that. And I had no plans or anything to ever sell this product. 100%. I just made it for me. I finished it. I got it right. And I have a couple, you know, just local tinter buddies come by and stuff. And I was like, yo, like, take a bottle of this stuff. Take a bottle of this stuff. Try it. Next day. Holy shit, this is amazing, dude. This is amazing, you know. And I start, like, 3 or 4 guys, I started to get the feedback, and they were like, we want more. I was like, yeah, just come, dude. Like, I'll give you some more. No worries, dude. I'll give you some more. Then I was like, all right, well, a couple people local like it. Let me send it to some of my friends in the industry. So I picked 10 people that I knew and trusted in the industry enough to be like, hey, here's something. Use it. Try it. Like, tell me the good and the bad. Before this, like, goes crazy. You know what I'm saying? But help me, because I can only do so many cars as one person a day. I need more people testing this at one time. Do you trust it? Are you willing to risk a window for me? Is basically what I'm asking. You know, they were, and immediately incredible feedback all over again. So, okay, maybe this is good. This is good. I had one person that I still speak to almost daily in this industry. They were FaceTiming me. They FaceTimed me after I sent it to them, and they were sitting down at a table just like this. And he looked at me man to man. He goes, so, like, you going to sell it? And I was like, I'm not sure, man. Like, my shop's doing okay. You know, I got a lot going on. I just want to make it for me, you know, but I'll send you more. If you want more, I'll send you more. Don't worry about it. And he straight up picked up the bottle, and he looked at me just like this. And he said, Richard, if you don't sell this, you are doing a disservice to your family. You have gold in a bottle. And it gave me chills, dude. I was like, did I really come up with something that can change my life? That could change an industry? That could help other people? We train people all the time. Like, I had somebody fly in for 2 weeks last month to train with me every day from Boston, Massachusetts. People want to train with us. They want to get better. They trust us. But I wasn't sure I was capable of doing something this powerful, you know? And with that, my exact next question to him was, okay, I'll sell it. What's it worth? Because I never planned on selling it. I didn't even know, like, what is it worth? Like, what would someone pay for this? Yeah. Okay, he gave me an answer. And then when that was over, I said, okay, maybe I do have something, worth my time here. So I asked the local guys that were near me when I saw them, hey, how much do you think it's worth? How much do you think it's worth? I took the 5 answers that I got from them, and I got an answer of 25, I got a 30, I got a 35, a 35, and a 40. And I said, no chance I'm going to do $40. I can't do that. That was like never a thought. But I said, I'm going to pick the lower of the options that the customer told me the value. This is an industry where we get to do everything we do because the customer trusted the value. They told you the value. We hunt every day to find the customers that value us. Yeah. Somebody says, that's only worth $500 to do that. Well, your price is $700. They don't see the value in you. That's okay. It's just not your customer.
Yep. 100%.
It's very, very simple.
100%.
So if the value is not there, then it's not there. But this is what people I trust told me this is worth. So I decided on that $30 price point, and I went home and I turned to my wife and I said, cool. Well, now we got to find out how much it cost us. I didn't know what it cost me. I didn't know what a bottle cost. I didn't know what a spray top cost. I didn't know what a sticker cost. I didn't know I'm not a distributor. I'm a tinter. So then that was a whole new world that I had to discover. And I truly believe a lot of people don't understand.
Oh, for sure. Not the slightest clue when it comes to creating a product, and then let alone everything that goes into then making that idea come to life. And then you have distribution, which that by itself, like I have my blue squeegees that I use, that we're the only ones I can get them. I know where the guy that makes them, he only makes them for us. Mm-hmm. And I've handed them out and people are like, dude, how can I get those? And it's like, I'll sell you one. Like I went down that rabbit hole for like, I think a week or two. And then people started messaging me. I'm like, I can't do this. Yeah. I to service these people, like, so what, you want 1 or 2 squeegees? All right, I got a shipping address, shipping, packet, label it, like I don't got time for this shit.
I'm going to be really vulnerable right now, and I'll be straight up. 6 months, I'm 9 months in, 6 months into Importint Sauce, because of the type of things you're talking about and everything online, social media. I had to reach out, dude. I see a therapist now. I swear to God, because like my life got unbelievably stressed, and the things that were thrown at me, I had never felt this. I had never handled this. I didn't know how. So I began to bottle it, of course, like men do. Yep. And then it would release in the worst time, and people that love me, you know what I'm saying? And why am I releasing this energy, this negative that people are outside of my family or my friends feeding into me? Why am I releasing that negative back on them? So I had to reformulate and think about myself. This made a lot of self-reflection on me, just in general. Like, it's a vicious industry, dude. Sometimes I'm like, man, it was easier just tinting windows by myself in my little hole in Santa Monica, Yeah. But it's also shown me unbelievable amount of support, the beauty in it. I can say that for all the nay, there's definitely positive out there. Everything in life is what you choose to stare at, what you choose to dwell on. And this, I think, has opened me to the industry to a level I always wanted to be at. I'm talking in conversations. I'm getting messages from the people that I used to look up to, and I would ask questions to, and now they're coming to me, and maybe not asking questions, but just talking to me about their ideas. And I feel so honored, like just lucky, blessed, like however you want to say that. I just feel really, really honored that something that I was able to come up with make a difference. And at a certain point, I had someone tell me 3 days ago, actually, he said, dude, I've been in the industry 28 years. I've seen all the tools, I've seen the fads, I've seen the films come. I can honestly say I've never seen something hit and change the industry this hard, this fast, to where everyone is scrambling to have a piece of it. Yep. Every distributor, everybody, every installer, everybody wants a piece of it. And
I would agree with that statement, like wholeheartedly. And
he lastly said too, and it stood out to me. Of course, like that was like a very simple way of easily saying it. But one thing that he stood out to me, he goes, Richard, you can go on any tint page in the industry or you get in conversations with people and they say sauce, tint sauce, sauce. Sauce was never used in the tint industry ever.
Language wise, no.
Ever. It was for food. I decided to use Importint Sauce because there was already the word gel. I wanted something different. I didn't want something cliche. I wanted to stand out. My shop is Importint. I've had that for over 3 years in Santa Monica. The name was already there. People think I came up with the name just for the product. My shop is Importint. I've got over 100 Google reviews. I've been there in Santa Monica, California. You can Google it. So when I came up with this, Importint Sauce, it was very easy. The main thing for when I came up with it is, to this day, I have never even handled, touched a bottle of any other gel on the market. On God. And people are like, oh, like you should try it. I don't want to. I don't want to. Comparison is like the easiest way to beat yourself down. For one.
The best thief of joy.
I let the customers do that.
Yep. And
they have done an awesome job of coming back and not just telling me, but telling everybody, good or bad. And that's okay because we need both sides. Then you have another thing that came out and it's something sauce. And it's like, all right, that's when I kind of believed what he was saying. You know what I mean? I was like, you're right. You could just go and just type in like tint sauce on Google and it pops up.
Yep.
And then it pops up options. It pops up distributors. 9 months ago, if you type in the word tint sauce, you're going to get barbecue sauces. They're going to think you misspelled mint or something weird. You know what I mean? Like, what is going on? You know, which is super, I guess the word's like flattering, you know, like I didn't think something, again, like I was saying before, I didn't think something that I could come up with could make such a difference.
The cool thing is, man, in my mind, like the key to any successful business is you have to have a quality product. And like your care for having a quality tint job, which is like trying to find the perfect window, led to a product that solves a huge problem for everybody in the industry.
It helps us in the pursuit.
Like in a big, big way, man. Like honestly, we've done several projects now. And, you know, I'm pretty quick to try new things. And I'm going to say my brother is not. And he's definitely the person that's going to have a lot more reservations and be thinking about the outcomes. A little bit more
testing, not going to be like, okay, cool. After one window, like, all right, let's
for
do some
him
more,
to have tried it, like, and first go, be like, oh my God, this is like getting that feedback from him is what actually had me like, okay, I really need to try this now. And now our guys don't go out without it. Like, there's a lot of jobs where they probably don't need it, but we do a lot of exterior, and using it just ensures that the window is going to be clean.
Yep.
And when you've got younger installers that like they can put up a good clean window, they've been tinting for a couple of years, they're good. But when you can speed them up orders of magnitude where they're putting up the quality work we could put up after 20 years of installing in roughly the same amount of time because of a product that the relative cost to what those job sizes are is basically nothing. Like you've created a product that saves so much time, and everybody in business knows time is money. And that I think it's incalculable.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's
that the quality of work of everywhere that's using this is going up.
And like, just like you're saying, like there's two things to compare on the job. Most of the time it's, when it comes to flat glass, you have a more valid point because you're doing much larger windows with more expensive film. If you've got some 3M prestige, like, and you're doing a huge window, there's times where that piece of film is $150, $200 or more.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The piece of film.
Yep.
Would you not want to go into laying that piece of film with an insurance policy? That there's a really good chance it's going to come out better and not waste it. And then
so that I don't even honestly, I don't do any of the ordering. I don't know how much this costs when we buy it. But anytime we've talked about it, getting it for the guys, I'm like, I don't even care what it costs. Get it.
Yeah.
Like, that's how good of a product it is.
Well, see, like how you put an insurance policy, I do agree with that. How I looked at it and how I calculate the reasoning and I justify the cost and also just why it, for me, he's 100% right. With new tools and stuff that come out, I'm a very big skeptic Like I'll try something to where it's like, if I try a tool and it's like, cool, it helps me on this one job. That's nice. I'm doing that one job maybe once or twice a week. Why am I going to carry this tool with me? If I can do it without it, I don't want to carry it. For me, it's efficiency.
Yeah.
This allows me to take someone that say hasn't been trained at all and then get them to the point where they'll be able to do 70% of the work, like vinyl windows and stuff like that. Even when it comes to certain cars too, have them doing windows on cars relatively fast.
Mhm.
Now, that doesn't mean that their training stops there. It means I can make them more useful quicker and they can start producing. But then I have to continue. It's my responsibility to continue to train to, yes, I eventually do want to get them to the point where like, all right, you just ran out. You got to finish the job.
It's right there. Your job when you introduce him to this product is to introduce it to him as a tool and not a crutch.
Exactly.
Because if you stop training, all you've done is given him a crutch.
Mm-hmm.
But if you keep training past that point, like you're saying, then he can slowly let off the crutch and only use it when he needs help lifting, or you know what I'm saying, getting up, or however you want to.
Well, yeah, and then and then use it in the fact that like, hey, is it going to make you more efficient? Will you be able to get more work done if you have to? Not saving lean up, but use this tool to its fullest potential. Yes, okay, use the shit out of it. I don't care,
right?
But I need you. I need to get you to the point where, all right, we're gonna do a test. You just ran out. We're out. We didn't order in time. Now you got to do the work, and then work on that time and get faster and faster. The reason I see so much blowback from this product for the sole fact, I think it's out of pure jealousy from all the veteran tinters that it's like, well, we didn't have that when we came up. Like, who gives a shit?
Yep.
Like plotter babies. I just saw a reel recently, which I know that like Mike Burke's been putting out a bunch of good content, and it seems like he's just kind of like he's doing a lot of forward facing content, which is great. Yeah. But like he interviewed one of his installers, and he's like, you know, are you a tinter if you can't hand cut? And which you do need to learn how to hand cut.
Of course.
But like, oh, those plotter babies. And it's like they get categorized as that and they get put down as that. If I'm going to teach someone auto and I need them up and going as fast as possible, I'm going to teach them with a plotter to begin with. But that if you fail them in continuing training them because you're scared that they're going to go off and open up their own shop or anything like that, A, you're not taking care of your employees.
Right.
And B, you're failing them as a trainer and you are creating the problem just by you are trying to cut their talent short to where I don't want you to know enough to go off and be my competition. No,
right.
It's on you. If you're going to bring someone in and train them, you need to be able to train them from start to finish. Yes, use all the tools and resources you have to get them producing as fast as humanly possible.
I mean, the point of me training someone is for them to be able to do my job as good as I do it.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't have to do it. That is the point. You're trying to clone your work into someone else's body.
Yep.
Like that. That's your goal.
I think the problem that the people that get into that position have is they don't then want to pay that person the way you would pay yourself, which is such a backwards ass way of thinking about it.
Right.
Like if this person's really providing enough value to let you to step out of a role and produce what you could produce, this person needs to be paid well so they're not incentivized to go do their own thing.
And another thing, I kind of dumb things down a lot to make my point in certain aspects. I've always used the rebuttal online where people say you're not a tinter if you can't hand cut. You're just a plotter baby, right? You're an installer. The tinter installer argument, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This simple, right? The customer brings, they drop off their car, they hand you the keys. The car comes back here. I cut it with a plotter. I know how to hand cut. I cut it with a plotter. I install it because I'm an installer and I didn't hand cut it, right? I install it. I finish, I walk outside and I hand the person their keys and they look at their car. What are they going to say? You tinted it.
Yeah.
They're not going to say, oh, you installed window tint.
Yeah.
No.
This is why
are you silly?
No.
Like,
no, that's why I avoid Facebook entirely, man. The arguments in there are
if there's a plotter in the tint shop, do we call it
install bag?
Green Valley Film Install?
Yeah,
it's not a bad idea for a name.
No, dude, it's a tint shop, dude. That's what we do. No matter how we do it, the window's tinted. If we put flow tint on the top like the 70s, it's still tinted. But he didn't hand cut anything.
Yeah.
No,
it's a dumb argument.
It is, dude.
I read through the wave. I'm not gonna say read through the wave tops, but like I'll see comments pop up, and there are plenty of times that I've wanted to respond to things, and I usually don't ever respond. I will. If someone will ask, I've seen someone put a question in, it's just like, hey, what gel's using for tint? And I put one word in there, I'll respond, Importint Sauce. And like our response like that. Same thing that happens with the market agencies. You got people that will rail against, like, no, they're just trying to steal your money. And which there's plenty of marketing agencies out there that will do that.
Right.
And then there are people that if you have, it's on you to also have good communication with your marketing agency. Let them know what you want from it, what you want to see from it. And then you have to keep them towing the line, just like they have to keep you towing the line of things that you need to do to make sure that your game plan works.
That's just using your tools.
Yeah.
That's literally just using, they are your tool.
Exactly.
You have to use them, utilize every aspect that they can and they offer you.
Yep. 100%.
And if you don't feed them the information, they can't do anything for you.
Well, beyond that, even if you feed the information, if you don't action your leads after the fact in the manner that you need to, like
that too,
within like best case scenario, first 5 minutes you're reaching
60 seconds is best case.
And it's funny because we send the marketing people all the information, right? They send all the information to the customer, and the customer turns around and calls us back and asks all the same information that we sent to that guy to send to them. But your point, if we're not there to say it again when they actually call, what's the point of telling them and them telling them? You just paid for 2 rounds of nothing.
Well, people will turn around and say, well, no, that marketing agency just stole my money. It's no, you didn't have SOPs in place to actually get a hold of your leads in the timely fashion you're supposed to. You're waiting 2 or 3 days to call them back. What do you expect to happen? That lead's completely cold now. They probably went somewhere else because you didn't call them back. Right. Like the times I've put my number or email into a product that I'm like, kind of like, I know, I'll check this out. Yeah. I'll see. I'll send it in. The person who calls you back instantly, like, I know from my personal experience, I'm not looking anywhere else. I set up the consultation.
You can't because you're busy talking to him.
Well, beyond that, like, it's,
right? He already took your time.
Well, beyond that, I'm so impressed with the fact that like they are on top of their shit. Like I'm gonna see their process all the way through because if they've already checked that box for me right off the bat, like, yeah, they might be a little bit more expensive, but they're gonna hit everything else I want them to hit when it comes to the quality, customer service, the what they're providing for me. Like, I'm fine with
that. Goes
spending
for
money.
Anything in any market, even food.
Yeah,
like not just cars or flat glass, or like anything.
And it ties back to what you were talking about, the value thing. That's how you portray that value. Like you need to every step along the process wow that customer's socks off. The very quick response.
Yep.
The automated reminders on appointments, all of those little teeny touch points. You could be the best window tinter in the world.
Yep.
You skip all of those steps and then the follow-up steps, doesn't matter.
Nope. Doesn't matter at all.
That's why you're complaining about competing against people for $200 tint jobs down the road. Because you're missing all the little stuff that actually matters.
I'm not saying I don't want that customer. That I mean, they qualify us. We're also qualifying them. We finally have gotten kind of regular on having sales meetings every week now on Monday. The whole sales team gets together, kind of go over how the leads have been. And then I also listen in on the phone calls. And also when I'm up front, as much as my inside salespeople, I think they do recognize it, but they don't. Like if I'm in another room, they might not think I'm listening. I'm listening at all times. I'm listening to what they're saying. Like, and I'll go in there like, hey, we need to make sure we emphasize like for like Autobahn.
Or like, let's reword this or something. Like, let's start with this because we want them to remember, just a little critiquing on the way the speech and how they articulate to the customer.
Oh, absolutely. Like we started carrying i3. That's our high-end film now. Like because it comes with the no fault warranty. Like I just want it to be said. You don't need to emphasize it. It's no fault warranty. We do one up to at least one pay, no fault, no matter what. In which I know the warranty works where you get to submit it once for the invoice. I'm relying on the fact that it's probably never going to get used. It hardly ever does. And if it does,
more than once, like it's okay.
And if it does, it's fine because I know I'm investing to that customer long term because they're going to be like, dude, you got to go to this shop. Like I scratched this window, they replaced it. This window got scratched over here. They were they replaced every single window on my car because my kids are being unruly or whatever.
I say it at least 5 times a day. I perpetuate this over and over. Plant the seed. Plant the seed, dude. And the great thing about this is when it comes to like marketing and stuff like that, I say you plant the seed, but you don't have to water it. The customer will water it. If they want the plant to survive, the customer will water it, just like every plant, right? We have to water it. Anything. And when it comes to like a little discount or a small job, quick story. I had a guy call me when I was about 2 months into business for myself, and he said, I got a Cadillac and I want one window done. And I said, okay, which window is it? He goes, it's just a tiny little window on the car. I knew nothing about this. He said, I was like, yeah, sure, $20. Well, what about the rest of the car? I'm thinking maybe the rest of the car's tinted. It got broken. He shows up. Nothing's tinted on the car. He wants just that window. Whatever. $20, man. Take me 4 minutes. I literally could probably pull a piece. You want limo? Pull a piece out of the trash. It's like this big. So towards the end of, I tinted it, and towards the end of it, I was like, I'm sorry, man. Like, I have to ask. Well, what's the story behind this? He goes, well, this is like a third car for a family, and they park it in the corner of the yard, and this car never gets used, and they want to put a camera in the car. So they don't want to be able to see the camera, and they just want to stick it in the quarter window to watch because they think someone's been approaching their house at night. I didn't know, to wrap the story up, these people are on the top 30 richest people in the world. They are worth $1.4 billion. That $20 window over the next 2 years is added up to $36,000 worth of work between 142 French panes in their $20 million mansion. Things like that. They have 5 Escalades that they recycled every 2 years. I'm in business 3 years. I got the first set of 5 Escalades because they have theirs, and all of their children drive black Escalades. So I tinted all of them. We put cameras in all of them. Now I'm in the process of they're recycling them. So I'm 2 years into their lease. I've already done 2 of them. I got to go back and do a third one next week. Plant the seed, people. Please do not chase the huge ticket at the beginning. You don't know what these people have. If I wouldn't have done that $20 window because another shop quoted him $50, he told me this. They quoted me $50 for that stupid little window. And they wanted to sell me. They kept pushing me to sell me the whole car. And when you told me $20, and no pressure, I came in real quick and we were done. I chose you. That $20 has led to $35,980 more dollars of gross in my business because I just said, fuck it. I have a guy. I've been blessed enough in January to hire my first employee after over 2 years in business for myself. He's used to the shops that are $200 a car, slap, 10 cars a day, go. That's just where he worked on that side of town. I have hired him, told him straight up, like, dude, we're going to do maximum like 4 cars a day. We're going to do good cars. We're going to do nice tickets. If you have to do the window 4 times, I don't care.
Make sure it's done right.
If it's right on the second one, if it's right on the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th one, as long as it's right by the last time you touch it, I don't care. If you need more time, I'm not going to tell you, come on. I'm going to say, I'll call the customer. Because me as an owner, I don't like surprises. If you tell me 3 o'clock and it's going to be 4, I'm fine with that. But you just need to tell me before 3 o'clock.
Yes.
Yep. So I'll call you at 1, say, hey, things are a little backed up. We had a little hiccup. Everything's fine. Just need more time. If possible, maybe if you're close, I'll deliver, depending. If it's a situation.
Yeah,
we'll go the extra mile for him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Literally. But with that, he has seen someone call for like 2 front windows. And I said, no, $150. Okay. Can you do any better? Sure, $130. And he asked me one day after he saw me do it a couple times, he said, why are you like so quick to just knock $20 off? Like all the other shops I worked for was like, no, you must pay. Come on now. I said, well, to be real with you, Johnny, I don't give a fuck about those 2 windows. I don't care about that 30 minutes. I don't care about the $40 in film. I want his wife's car. I want his cousin's car. I want his brother's car. I want his business. I want to tint his whole storefront because I didn't know that he owns a strip mall.
Yep.
I don't care about the 2 windows. I'm just planting a seed. And if I can plant a pretty seed in those 2 little front windows, that tiny quarter window, he's going to grow up, let it just water it himself. And when someone says tint, oh, I know Richard, that's the guy.
Yep.
It happens.
Oh, our dad told
all the time
the exact same story about when he started in California, how he got a customer. Mm-hmm. What kind of car was it? It was some beat up like station wagon or something. And he ends up tinting the dude's car. He talked about it on the podcast, I think.
Yeah, I do remember that story. Yeah, briefly. Yeah,
exact same thing. He ended up doing a bunch of houses from built and businesses for him.
You plant the seed, and sometimes, you plant the seed, and it doesn't grow. Nothing happens.
Yeah.
Well, you ever talk to a farmer? You want him to tell you that I planted 20,000 pounds worth of seeds this year and only 5,000 pounds grew? But did he give up? No. He goes, plants more seeds every year and waters them because that's how he feeds his family. So just plant the seed, dude. It doesn't take long. You never know what it's going to turn into.
No, absolutely. That's where like any of those things, when it comes to taking care of the customers, it's just take care of them. It's going to cost us money now. Who cares?
Yeah.
It'll end up turning into something. We had one of our guys burnt a dash in a GTR. Didn't put the soak rope back in. Fished something out of the windshield. Fried electronic component underneath the dash. Thankfully, the key in the car still started, but his push button stopped working. Took it to Nissan. And fried module. It was $2,500.
Yep.
Thank the Lord that his car was still drivable. And it's like I called him instantly. We talked about it, and I was like, dude, just whenever you get it fixed, send me the bill.
Yep.
Or just if I can pay them directly, I'll cut a check. I'll pay them directly.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, how you handle this? Like, I appreciate it. Like, hey man, shit happens. I totally understand. Thank you for being on top of calling me and making sure everything's getting taken care of. Like, I want to book my wife's car. I'll let you know when the part gets fixed. And I was like, perfect. And it's like from there, we have his business for life now.
Yeah.
Like he brings every car.
Like a big accident turned into a relationship.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because you were able in that time of stress and tension, which should have been rolled onto him, you were able to take the blame for it. Mm-hmm. So he gets to wash his hands of that. And you took away his stress. So at that point, you showed him as another man, I can handle problems. You know what I mean? I can do this. I don't need your help. Even though when something goes wrong, you can trust me to make it right. And that is what earns your business forever. Mm-hmm. Not like he did the right thing. It's like, no, like I can trust this guy to do the right thing when I'm not looking.
Yep. No, anytime something gets damaged over their glass or anything, we break a windshield, window gets scratched. Before the customer even gets called, I've already called the glass company. Yep. It's ordered. I know what day it's going to come in. So when that phone call goes, all right, I got some unfortunate news. This happened. We noticed whatever ended up happening. I tell them about it. I was like, the window's already ordered. It's going to come to my shop. I'm going to get it tinted while it's at my shop. And then the guy's mobile. He can come to you. Or if you want to bring your car down. All right, now I'll check their address too.
Right.
If they are close, I was like, I can come pick your car up from your work.
Right.
From this, I'll get it delivered and try to cut out as much as possible. And it's like, they have that little letdown to begin with, but then you hit them with like, it's ordered. This is the day it's getting fixed. Hey, it's our bad. And they're like, hey man, don't worry about it. Shit happens. I appreciate you getting everything lined up.
When that whole story comes full circle and it's finally over, then I can sleep. Like in like the meantime of getting things fixed and when the customers, I feel like I still haven't solve their issue. You know what I mean? Even though we physically haven't yet, but I try to do it verbally first to take the stress off of them. For that, when you, how do I want to say this? It's kind of like what I was just saying. It's just the whole, like you earn their trust and
it's just another way to plant a seed, man.
Yeah.
Like you honestly end up looking at that $2,500 as an investment into like marketing almost.
Oh,
like,
that's what I was going to say.
This is going to be a customer for life.
Trust capital.
The 2,500. The reason I sleep better is because I feel better about it, even though the money hurts. The bank account hurts. Like I feel like it's not a fight, but it's like almost like I want to fight. Like I was brought to this problem. It's been created. It's happened. I have to get through this. I have to win this fight and finish it before I can sleep. And after it's all over and the bank account's less and the customer's paid, I'm like, it's a good feeling that I just had to spend $2,500. You know what I mean?
You have to reframe it. Instead of this just cost me $2,500, you're thinking long term, the same way you're thinking about your business in general. And like long term, I actually just want a customer for life. Short term pain, but long term, it's going to be growth.
Well, and also too, you can go to bed knowing that you did the right thing.
Exactly. I did the right thing, dude. I didn't leave him hanging.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Instead of being like, well, I mean, maybe your car already had something wrong. Your car was 5 years old, and I've looked up those models, and they have problems in this area. It's like, but if you didn't recognize or already have it notated that something was already wrong before you took ownership of that vehicle, brought it into your store, and then worked on it, You have no right to sit there.
This is the same as a doctor trying to deny fault for something because the customer had a pre-existing condition.
Yep.
It's his responsibility. Imagine an anesthesiologist. They got a pre-existing condition. Oh, can't give him too much. It'll kill him. It's his responsibility to be the professional to know that this type of body, this type of condition, for us, this type of car, don't touch that because that plastic's going to break.
Yep.
It's a 20-year-old Mercedes. You hit that back deck, it's going to turn to dust. It's our responsibility. But you still see the new guys that were hustling for their first job. I'm all for it. They take the $200 old beater car for a mobile job, and it's a 20-year-old Mercedes, and they post the pictures on the internet where they crammed the bulldozer in the back deck, and that little grill is all smashed up in little pieces. What do I do? You talk them into limo tint so they can't see it from the outside. That's what you need to do. You know what I mean? But like,
it's something you should.
It's knowing what you're working on before you start the work.
The pre-work,
and that's
on
why
that.
we're the professional.
The pre-walk on that should have been like, hey, I want to point something out. See this right here? This is dry rot. I'm going to do my best to avoid touching this at all, but any pressure on this can make this crumble. I'm going to take all precautionary steps. I just want to let you know right off the bat. Because even some older Toyota Corollas, same thing. Those plastic covers.
The Corollas and the Camrys.
Yep.
The Camrys, the 6x9s on the deck.
You look at them the wrong way.
You can.
Yeah.
And the whole thing just
crumbles down.
That story, it happened in a shop that I was working at, and told the guy, like, look, don't mess with it. Don't mess with it. And he had the bulldozer in his right hand, and he crammed it behind the brake light and went to pull it out with like the pressure, and his elbow went right. The whole thing just like that. And nope, we're gonna have to figure this one out. And by the way, just so everybody knows, those are plastic welded in. You can buy the covers on Amazon, but you can't just like pop the old one off and clip the new one on. They'll be loose. That happened. So I told the customer when they came, hey, look, I'm gonna order some new ones, blah, 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 blah. It's because of this. And the customer was like, no, like it's been like that forever. It didn't just break. And I was like, you're right. It doesn't just break. We touched it, but it's so fragile. I really need you to understand this. I'm still going to replace it, but I just want to understand why.
Yeah.
And I said, look, dude, like the other one's not touched. If you go with your finger, you can just push on it and it'll break. There. And he's like, no. And I said, look, just go do it because I have to order a set anyways. I can't order just the right side. And I'm going to pull the whole deck. Just go do it. I'm going to replace both of them for you. And he just reached in with his finger. Like, just touch like you do like that.
Fall straight through.
His finger went right through. And he immediately looks at me. He's like, this is bad. This is really bad. And I'm like, I'm just saying, nobody climbs back there and touches them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you wouldn't know this.
Yeah.
And
sun's brutal, man.
Yeah, it toasted him pretty bad.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to tell you about Tint Lab. Not only where you're going to learn how to install like the best, but beyond the installation, you're going to learn how to sell like the best. Go to tintlabusa.com. Find out today.
There was one other thing I wanted to tell about Importint Sauce that people always ask, of course, like what's in it, blah, 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 blah. Of course, I can't share the exact ingredients. We'll call that proprietary.
I love the SpongeBob meme that you put out with plankton. Like,
I was like, I didn't make that. I didn't make that. That's why the caption says, if I had to wake up to this, so do you. Someone sent me that.
That's awesome.
And I was like, should I share this? Should I not?
No,
Is
definitely.
It egotistical? Like,
No.
I'm not sure. And I was like, it's just too true. Like, not to do it. Like, it's too true. In my process of making it, I made sure looking up every ingredient that is used during the adhesive manufacturing process. So the actual adhesive that is on your tint, the ingredients that they use to make that. We'll just say the list is 10 ingredients. Every ingredient in my Importint Sauce is already listed on their list. So I am not introducing anything new or foreign to this equation. All I'm doing is playing with the numbers that are already there. I'm using what's there, a little bit more of this, a little bit more of that. Okay, it makes it tack better now because I didn't want to use alcohol. Some of the stuff that people use, it will look very similar in the bottle. When you try to spray it, it won't spray the same. It kind of globs up or coagulates a little bit. You can tell when you go to spray it on something, it's not as smooth. If I stop at one ingredient, yes, it'll look just like theirs. But I wanted smoother. I wanted to be able to spray a nice mist, not just clumps in the windows. If we're going to do clumps in the windows, I don't need to sell you a spray top. I need to sell you a big syringe, which I've also thought about putting on the website for people that flat glass that want to use less. And instead of spraying it, just a big syringe, suck it up and put it on there. Yeah, like if I didn't need it to be sprayed, then I could leave it unsmooth and you could just apply that way. But I wanted to be able to do larger surfaces easier because this takes forever. Pouring in the bottle, going around.
Yeah, just spray.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Yeah.
And then I wanted something to make it tack a little bit better because other ones, you'll still get a decent amount of slide. This referred back to, made me think of a story that you were saying when we were talking about the big flat glass jobs with, we immediately spoke about the prestige and the cost of the film. But the other thing was time. Time being everything for us.
That's
time
my biggest
is everything. One of my initial testers that I had sent it to, he's more of a flat glass guy. I told him, he was the only flat glass tester at the beginning. I told him, I said, can you do frost? Because everyone hates frost. And I want like old wood windows, nasty stuff. He's like, okay. Well, he actually did it in a bathroom in his house, and the house was built in the 60s. And it had old like wooden frames. Terrible. He told me he did all 6 of them in the window. And he noticed, of course, astronomically clean. One point he had like a paint chip in it. He was able to pull back, get the paint chip out, spray sauce, and go, and it was still clean without a line of dirt in it. All that is what we already know. And everyone speaks about the cleanliness. But he told me, he goes, Richard, at the very least, on a large flat glass job, this saves me 20 minutes. I said, and he goes, not in the actual cleanliness install part. He goes, but when I do a large flat glass job, every single time, and especially with frost sometimes, it wants to pop a finger way easier. So when I finish, I spend 20 minutes with a paper towel and a card going up and down the ladder and bumping edges. Any finger or any edge that might have left a little bit of water and something like that. He goes, this tacked down so nicely, there's no fingers, there's no edges, because it pushes the water out and leaves the gel there at the seam. And when you wipe it up, there's no water to go back in. So, of course, cleanliness, but I don't spend 15, 20 minutes walking around bumping edges when I'm done.
That's why I was saying,
and like that's just like thing. Monotonous. How many windows can you do in 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Or how much could you enjoy your life just sitting on the couch with your children?
Well, the crazy
for
thing
20
is,
more minutes. You know what I mean?
The first big job we used it on was hundreds of panes exterior, extremely dirty frames around them, like a glass that the glass edge has like almost like a Dow silicone bead, but only from like the side of the window and in between the windows. So the edge of the glass is exposed everywhere. And that whole section of silicone around all the windows is just caked with years of dirt.
Yeah.
I tinted one of them without sauce, and the amount of time I spent cleaning around that silicone and getting it, and I got a clean window.
Yeah.
But then, like, as a test to see if we're going to use this on the rest of the building, I did the window next to it without cleaning the edge as intensely as I did. So I saved a bunch of time there, and then I used it and did it. And my window was clean, and it would have been passable, but it was way better with the sauce. And it was like, all right, we're using this on the whole building. It probably saved us on that job 5 to 10 minutes per window for hundreds of windows. So like, do the math on that.
Yeah, we cut a day or two off the
install,
especially in the interior. The interior, we did frost on floor to ceiling windows that were seamless. Thankfully, no silicone. It's had a hard plastic on the side.
On the sides of them.
Yeah, and it had like these little felt hairs. And then we had to take the doors themselves. They were sliding doors on a mount on the top of the glass. We lifted the doors off, and I sprayed all 4 edges because it was all edgeless glass. So I had to shade everything.
Right.
So it was literally spray all 4 sides. I stuck it, and then I could shave my windows
immediately.
Right then.
Yeah, like right then, and not even have to wait, come back.
It probably saved us 3 days.
Yeah.
Oh, at least.
And it's back to what you were saying about like the test, with or without it. The same person that I had testing for flat glass before, I said, hey, see if you can do just as good without it. And he said the same thing. He's like, it took me 2 tries. I was able to do the window just as good as Importint Sauce, but it was after cleaning way more the first round, and it wasn't quite as good. And then the second one, cleaned a little bit more, and I got it as good as Importint Sauce. So what did you save? Film and time.
Yeah.
Oh, stress. Let's talk about stress. Like just being aggravated at work.
Yeah.
That kills you right there. I want to go home. If I'm happy at work, dude, I'm working. I'm flowing.
Yep.
Just going. I get one window that pisses me off and I have to do it 3 times. There's days where that's messed up my whole day. Like no car is smooth after that. Everything's like I'm overthinking it. It's weird.
Yeah.
That's how I felt at Tinter Battles. When I was saying that one fucking
I mean,
door.
honestly, as an installer right now, knowing you got a bunch of wood and French panes to do, just knowing that to start the day is already like, damn, today's going to suck. But now with this, it's like, actually, this isn't going to be nowhere near as bad as it used to be.
I have a live test, and actually I haven't taken it down yet. So that French door over there, the last class we did, I tinted it. And on one side I used sauce, the other side I didn't. And both, like, obviously the Importint Sauce side is clean, and the other side it's still clean. But the big difference I had to do between them is like usually not touch up. It was how big is the gap on French panes. If I'm not using sauce, I cut a fatter gap. Because less is going to leak in. I have a clean window. So on
you intentionally, instead of giving it a 45, you'll more bring your knife straight to give it, an extra air inside of there instead of all the way inside. Because you don't want to risk it.
You can see the gap on one side, and the other side, I intentionally was like, how tight can I make this? And is it going to make a problem? Is it going to be an issue for me? So I cut it tight as hell. Yeah. And it's like, with using the sauce, I couldn't have done that without using sauce. There's no chance it would have been that clean with that gap that tight on a painted wood door.
Which is funny because it does get the big reason why you typically don't cut it tight is you're more likely to suck water back in. With the sauce, it's not
you need that bleed space for the water to bleed out. Yeah. You don't want the pushback.
Well, especially the water bleeding out thing. The class before that, we at the end of it, we ran like a small competition on the window to the right. So the stationary window. Right. And I told everyone, all right, you can use whatever tools are in the bay. You guys, at first we gave them 5 minutes. We said 10 minutes. And then as they started doing it, I was like, all right, you guys can have 15 minutes. Because it was like their first time like being put under pressure. They just went through the class and I was like, all right, I want them to finish. Yeah. So I gave everybody 15 minutes. And then I was like, all right, then me and Josh are going to go. We're going to do 10 minutes. So I let Josh go. And I
almost grabbed the sauce, but I was like, I don't want to be. They didn't. I'm going to beat them without it.
Well, I intentionally set the bottle of Importint Sauce on a table like that. I think in that bay right there.
I almost grabbed it.
I set it on the table and I wanted to go last because I knew what I was doing. I was grabbing sauce. So I told Josh 10 minutes. I was like, all right, I'll give myself 5 minutes. So like he finished. So then I walked over there, I grabbed the sauce, and they're like, oh, I was like, I told you guys you could use anything in this bay. And you guys didn't look around.
You only looked in the toolbox.
Not my
Remember my conversation? Yeah. You only looked in the toolbox.
I almost grabbed it, but I was like, nah, man, I'm not going to do that because none of them used it. I was like, all right, I want to try to beat them fair and square.
I mean, even
use the tools that you have around you.
It was your like second or third time using it for the graphics at WFCT, and you told me immediately after you were like, we would not have finished.
No.
It would not. It would not have.
Hell no.
It would not. We had too many pieces. It would not have dried fast enough.
We would have had to totally change.
When we were down here doing the test run on the window, one of our open windows on the other side of our shop, like as we started going, and like so we did one piece with water, soap and water, and with that reflective film, it kept curling. And then as I started laying pieces with the sauce, I was like, yeah, this is the only way we're finishing this job is if we use the sauce. And then just. Like that was the one thing I'm so happy I stopped in on that conversation with you and Jordan. And I was like, started listening to it. And that's when I started making comments. Yeah. And then like, as soon as we got done with that, I reached out to you and you got that ball to me, lickety split. And I was like, all right, this solves our issue. Cause that was the only thing that was scaring me too. Cause we were going so heavy on how many pieces. Right. It was like, are we going to be able to get this done? I mean, we have a good amount of time, but I think know.
You had told me, was it 130 or 130 pieces for the total design? And you said without the sauce, you probably would have dialed it back to like 80.
Yeah.
We would have had to. There's no way
you would have got.
As we started using it, I was like, all right, we're going to cut all these by themselves.
Had to change the design too. A lot of the stuff that came to fine little points would have never been laid down.
No. We would have definitely had
those
to change
trees.
The design.
I watched Marcus and you lay the trees and it was Marcus's first time ever touching it. It was like that day.
Yeah.
And Marcus' son was there as well with you guys. But he had the trees and he was trying to peel them off the backing. and he was getting him off. And of course the points are like going crazy. And he like started to pick up like half of it and go up. And you were helping him like get closer for the alignment. And you turned to his son and you were like, spray. And he kind of looked at you for a second and you were like, pointing at the salt, you're like, spray. And he sprayed once or twice and you were like, more. And he sprayed it like 5 times and you guys put it on there. And when you did, I saw Marcus, one of the larger trees, like it had buckled in it, like caused like a wrinkle in it. And you just took your finger and just slid it over and put it right where it like lined it up. And you're like, and for a brief second, Marcus like turned to you like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like that's not supposed to be possible with what I've done the past 20 years. It is now.
Yep.
It is now. And I even use the Importint Sauce for like, not of course like a full wrap for a company van, but if it's just like a transfer tape, label number on the side and stuff like that, dude, straight Importint Sauce. I just put it on the door and I can move the whole thing. And because it tacks and dries way better, there's no card it, walk away for an hour, come back and fight to peel it. I can card it real hard and immediately fold the paper on itself and just start working it back and it'll stay.
Yeah, for cut decorative,
and
like
you get way
stripes and
more
offices,
move.
Way
You know
more
what I
move.
mean? To adjust it with it. So for Importint Sauce, I made it for tint. It can be used for PPF. I made it. There was already a bunch of PPF gels, 5 or 6 on the market by major distributors before. Like I said, I still to this day have never touched any of them. I think that benefited me because I didn't piggyback off of anything else. I just went strictly for what my vision was. And that's what helps it stand out. But what was I going to say? I took a lot of purpose in the way I started to market and brand myself for tint. It is for tint by a tinter, and created that lane on the highway. We had a big fat highway of PPF gels, like 3 or 4 lanes. You know what I mean? These big people pushing it out. There was no side road for just tinters with a product made for what we need. We need it thicker. We need it tackier because PPF, the people still want to work with it as some. They're stretching and pulling on it. You don't stretch tint. Once it's stuck, it's stuck. Yeah. So I like to think that I created a whole separate lane and an avenue of customers, obviously. And I don't sell my product as a PPF product. I don't sell it as a vinyl product. If you want to double it as that, you can. People double ingredients for things in life all the time. There's nothing wrong with that.
Using it out the toolbox.
Using whatever resources you have available. That's okay. Whatever your choice is to spend your money. But I feel like I created a lane, like I said, and I refuse to swerve out of that lane to, hey, you can use it for PPF too. Just keep doing what you're doing, guys.
Yeah.
Just keep doing what you're doing. I'm not trying to, and another thought process along that is too, is I'm a small guy making this by myself. It's a brand new product. There's no chance I could ever compete with these huge manufacturers that have these PPF gels. I'll just get smothered. So to try to enter in that would just be dumb. It'd be a waste of energy. A tree that won't grow that many fruit. You know what I'm saying? Like I might get a few apples out of it, but it's not going to be a full tree, like when you create your own lane and avenue of customers.
No, and you most definitely did. And how you went about it too is getting it into certain people's hands. And then when people got curious about it, you got it into their hands and you just let them do the talking.
Yep.
It was like he said earlier, like it's very hard to convince me, but like when something new comes out, I'm like, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, even the PPF gel too, I avoided using that for a long time. And I finally used Mike's and I was like, okay, I could see. And I started getting out of my own way.
And again, this is all a tool and it's very situational.
That's the biggest thing is that people rely on this like, oh, it's a slip solution. No, it is a tool to use on a project when it is needed.
It is made for, like I said, situational. You only use it in certain situations. The guy that I mentioned earlier that's been working with me since January. Of course, he'll be on like a passenger side. I'll be on a driver's side. We're doing our thing. And he keeps it on him like all the time. I want him to be honest. Sorry.
No,
use it, bro. Use it, please. Everybody. It's been a couple times. He's turned to me. He's like, Rich, you didn't use the sauce on the window. And I'm like, I didn't need it.
20.
And that spawned a thought to me of like proof, factual. The guy that creates it, the guy that makes it, the guy that theoretically has as much as he could ever want for free or at the cost.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Still doesn't use it on every window.
Yeah.
I don't use it on most doors. It goes on the top of my windshields. It goes on my rubber quarter windows. If it's a dotted quarter window, probably not. Maybe if it's close by, you know, spray some on there.
Yeah.
But it is enough even for me. Sometimes I find myself looking for the bottle. Let's put it that way. I haven't used it in so long, a couple cars or whatever, since yesterday. I don't remember where I put it. To where my guy, it's like literally like it's with his tools. It moves with him everywhere he goes, which is good. It's brilliant. I don't think he should forever do that, but I absolutely, like you were saying, I want him to use it while he still needs it. We don't keep training wheels on our bikes forever.
Yep.
But we want to use them while we still need them.
Yep. And it's on you.
And they're training wheels for that reason. They're called that.
Yeah.
Again, like the whole like insurance policy thing, that too. It's like, look, what can I do to kind of guarantee that this is going to come out right? Well, I can clean like hell. You can Santa Maria, do a prayer first. I'm not sure, whatever works, but it works, dude. It works. You spray it up there, it works. People, in short, nobody really has anything bad to say. The only people they say is the price. And that's okay if it's just not for you. I told you the story about the Porsche dealership the other day.
Mm-hmm. So
I
want to get into this because what is a bottle like? How do I don't even know the pricing. So what is a bottle? Do you normally get it in the 3 gallon?
This bottle is $30 online.
Okay, yeah,
just this bottle. It's 24 ounces. You can do approximately 25 to 30 cars on it.
See, I think it's worth way more than that. Like this is where people aren't valuing it properly.
Right. I wanted to get in this, but I didn't want to take the podcast and make it a whole like numbers thing.
No,
but if you're down,
me,
I'm down.
Like that's a no-brainer. Like I'm gonna spend that all day long. For what's this?
120.
Yes, same thing.
A lot of people don't realize though, this is $30, and I don't even advertise this as a point. I probably should.
So bring that one back. That one back. We used one of these basically when it was still the bag, right? Mm-hmm. On that building.
Yep.
Saved us 3 days of 4 to 5 full-time installers working on that job.
Right.
$130,
$80,000
for 3 days of 4 or 5 guys' labor. I mean, it's honestly not priced high enough. Like, I mean, I'll keep taking it for that. But like, that's a bad art. That's people that haven't actually used it. And
you can get powder and mix it in a bottle. Yeah, I could do that. Sure, I can also hit my dick with a hammer too.
It'll swell up either way. It'll get hard to swell up. Trust me.
That's not thinking big enough. If you're like, I'd much rather just let you do your thing and use it.
I put it this way: I value my time more than that. I look at this as a product. It's exactly what I need it to be. It's mixed. It comes the same way. It's packaged great. It sprays up great. Like, sure, I could take the time to get the powder and do all the mixing and stuff. But now my guys are doing that, or I'm doing that, or I'm paying someone to do it.
And what if you do it wrong? Well, then you got to do it again.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, so they have to make sure their process
or you damage somebody's car or house.
Their processes have to be perfectly dialed in, which we all know installers, that's not happening. So all of those different factors are in place. Or I could just pay the money for it, know I'm getting the exact product, and I know I'm paying the value of what I'm buying. Like, I know how you're mixing it. I know how you're putting it together.
Ready to use straight out of the bottle.
Like, I'm going to waste my time with the comparison. Well, I can spend $4 or I can spend $120. Well, obviously, you don't value your time that high. If you're going to spend the time to mix it yourself and make sure it's mixed properly, you don't value your own time. You need to look in a mirror and value it yourself.
That's dead on. I also look at there's something in business that I think a lot of people get kind of confused upon. All right. We all theoretically would cook food at home and take it to work and make money and save money. Right. All right. There's a point to where you need to look at how much the guy cooking the food makes.
Yep.
And how much you make, whatever it is. If you per hour make more than the cook and the dishwasher combined, then it is not worth it for you to cook your own food.
Yep.
It's not. Because if it takes me, we'll make everything fast and easy. The grocery store is close, 30 minutes, right? 15 minutes, 10 minutes there, 10 minutes inside, 10 minutes back. I get home, the dishes are already clean. I don't have to clean anything. The stove is already on. I spend 30 minutes cooking this. I'm already an hour into it, right? Okay, then I eat it. We don't count that time, but then we spend 30 minutes cleaning up. All right, we're an hour and a half into that. If I went to the grocery store and this cost me $20, if I order it and it costs me $40, that's $20 difference, right? Can I make more than $20 in an hour and a half?
Yes.
Yep.
100%.
Then it's not worth it for me to go drive to the store and cook my own food.
This is something Alex Ramosi preaches.
Layla.
The same
Layla
with
lays
this.
on that
The
hard.
same concept with this.
Exactly.
Is it worth it for you to do it?
That's my biggest problem with the people that bitch and complain about price about the product is like I said, you don't value your own time. I am not going to take my time or my guys' time. So I know my guys can make more money for themselves, can make the shop more money, which if the shop makes more money, there's more profit in the shop. It means I'm doing my job right.
You want proof?
They get more money.
Did you buy a car or did you build your own?
There's
There's your proof.
that's not a bad one. I
We
like that
could
one.
potentially go get the parts and you can buy the kit.
Yeah.
But is it worth your time?
Hell.
Yeah.
And is it going to look like the one that's ready to go? I use the same comparison. I call it the box cake. You got box cake people.
Ooh, that's
It's
not
your
bad
birthday.
either.
It's your mom's birthday, okay? It's your 60th. You want to make this great. You have two options. Drive to the store, use your oven, buy the $15 box of box cake, and then go buy the other ingredients, the milk, blah, 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 and the sprinkles for whatever color you want it in the icing. You spent $20 on this cake, but you went home and you spent 2 hours into it. And when it was done,
Still look like
it
shit.
didn't look as good and it didn't taste as good. Or you could have spent double, $40, spent 10 minutes of your time. Hey, I'm coming to pick up the cake. And they walk in and grab it and walk out. And you give your mom a cake that tastes better and looks better. And someone with good handwriting wrote her name. Because I can't write happy birthday worth of shit with icing. It looks retarded. So your presentable factor in things, where does your time come into play? We can all do this cheaper. Could we make a battery? Yeah, if I wanted to fly somewhere to nowhere and go mine my own lithium. Let's be real.
Yeah.
What are we doing? We're tinting windows. We're making our life easier.
Yeah.
We can always go to an extreme, you know.
I think like on a large scale, it kind of like right now, that's where you see a lot of that, those types of comments and people thinking that way, especially on social media, is people aren't valuing their time.
Yeah.
Like, is the average person really spending 6 to 8 hours a day on mindless
And when it
shit?
comes to
Like,
cost, people say something. I, of course, ask people, hey, how many cars do you get out of about a bottle? You know, between 25 and 30 is what people say they get from one bottle. Or a flat glass guy, I get averages of around 400 to 500 square feet, depending on how many panes. A large window, you're only going to spray one. But if you're doing French panes, of course, you got to spray interior of that window multiple times.
I mean, we made we stretched a
math works
gallon for about, what was that, 4,000 feet?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were using a lot too.
Yeah, it lasts. Like,
So,
and I tell my guys that this isn't slip. I don't want you not to use it. I want you to use it, but don't be dumbasses with it.
use it correctly.
Yeah,
just
don't
use
be
it correctly.
dumbasses,
But what I tell people is, if you get 30 cars out of this bottle, or 25, and the bottle is $25 or $30, then you're spending, we'll just say worst case, $1 on each car. If $1 on each car puts you out of business, you should not be in business.
Agreed.
If a customer calls and you say 300 and they say 299, taking that job, dude.
And again,
You know what I mean? Like, if they say 300 then 200, we got to talk.
Yeah.
But $1 is not going to make or break my business, dude.
No.
and if you think
That's
about it,
that's the parking meter in LA, dude, for 1 hour. I got to, that's an estimate. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
I
the
have to
crazy
spend
thing
it.
is it's not even that, because if you think about it, how long would it take you to do 30 cars, assuming you have a window that's dirty, so you got to rip it off and redo it every so many cars? Over the course of 30 cars, you've actually just gotten those 30 cars done so much faster that you were able to do 2 or 3 more cars.
I explained the same thing to my employee. I said, look, dude,
save one window.
If we're doing 4 cars that day and we save 20 minutes each car, right? Using this, that's an hour and 20 minutes. You have time because you use this much of this bottle today on 4 cars. You now have time for that
5th
2 front windows.
Yeah.
Well, even beyond that, say
to do it,
or you scrap windshield. One windshield you scrap.
Yeah, say out of the 4 cars, you save a back window or a windshield. The bottle's paid for.
I tell people all the time, if you're using a high grade ceramic, and this bottle stops you from redoing one window anywhere throughout the entire bottle, stops you from redoing one window, it's paid for itself.
Yep.
More than that. Yep. If it's a windshield, I throw $60, $70 a piece of film on a windshield all the time. If it keeps that right, that's 2 bottles. You're going to be overstocked soon with that math.
Yep.
You're going to have a lot of film and a lot of Importint Sauce because you're not messing up and you're saving stuff. Man.
Yeah. So the lesson is, don't screw around. Buy some sauce. Yeah. Where can they find you?
InportintSauce.com. Easiest way to get it. I also have 7 distributors throughout the United States. Please do not get mad if I don't name you. I'm just trying to rattle them off. Dragon Distributing, Pioneer Distributing, 44 Tools. I have Aerotech. I have Jeff Welch at Tint-Hazilla. He helps with the product. Autobahn sells it on their page. I have a distributor in Australia. If anybody in New Zealand, Australia needs something like that. And we're working on Canada and Europe right now. So keep your hands tied, but it's coming. It's coming.
Well, dude, man, we appreciate you driving out and sitting down. I wanted to squeeze this in. This is Film Fest next week. I want this to drop right before Film Fest. I know that, unfortunately, is the talk of the couple phone calls I've been on, and also on the pages, too.
Of course.
Can we use the gel? And then all of a sudden, you get people chiming in, well, no, I'll use this or whatever. But, I'm very excited to get this dropped. And I will be using it in all 3 in all 3 tint competitions flat. In both autos, and then I'm doing PPF too, but I look forward to using the product. And
we used it at Tinter battles.
I'm looking forward to the flat glass. Flat glass rules changed for this one. You can't pull or tuck rubbers. So I need to do a test run. I want to cover my sides and tin up to the edge and see how tight it makes it, and then kind of go from there and see how the cutting goes.
Yeah. I also wanted to say, from day one, you guys have been fucking awesome. Thank you for your support. Seriously. Thank you for trusting our product. Like you said, you have reservations about new stuff. Thank you for trying it, trusting it. That goes for anybody, anybody that's ever even thought about it. I appreciate you. And if you guys ever need anything that has to do with it or tint related, again, I'm a tinter. I tint every day in my shop still. This is a second thing. I will answer your questions about tint, about film, about installs, taking cars apart. I get 5-6 calls a day, just helping people. And that's what I always did before this. And this was just another way of me helping the industry.
Well, thanks for moving the industry forward, man. I really appreciate it. Loved sitting and talking with you. And our installers, they want to have it on them all the time, man. So they don't want to go on and install without it, and I think that speaks volumes. So I really appreciate it.
Shows up with the Importint Sauce and no other tools, no squeegee, no red
that's a video.
That's the video we're doing with that. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that whole thing.
I told somebody
we got sauce. Where are the rest of the tools?
No, but I got the sauce. I told somebody one time when they were talking, I was like, "Look, dude, we still have to do our job. We still have to tint the windows. We still have to clean it and everything like that. You can't take the sauce and the tint and put it in the room with the car and shut the door and come back in an hour and the car's done."
That's another video, bro.
We still have to do our job.
You gotta make that video.
You see all my content's original?
That'd be great, man.
Yeah, it's not, but it helps you do your job if you're in there with it. But yeah, man, thank you guys again.
No, thank you.
Awesome.
Oh, thank you, man. And keep pushing forward. Don't listen to anyone.
Yes.
Don't stay off the comments.
Yeah, my life has gotten a lot more peaceful since I stopped reading them.
Yeah.
Really, at the beginning, I thought I had to be so connected to the product. I did, and I found myself defending myself to people that didn't. They weren't worthy of my time, So I just had to say, you know what, you can think what you want.
Yep. Exactly. No, if anything, to the people that are talking good or backing the product, those people only. The rest of them, let them do their thing. Who cares? But hey, we appreciate you guys tuning in for another episode. We'll definitely be having him back on again. Probably closer to Tinter Battles, so we're gonna go down there and make sure that belt comes back to Vegas.
It'll be with an L, but it'll probably be a LA.
I hear that from so many tinters.
Thank you.
Thanks, bro. Oh, man.